All right. Hello, everyone. This is our first show ever. This is The Hive, the latest buzz on pro football. I'm your host, Daman Pezo. I'm here with Tom Mitchell
How you doing?
and Michael Heifel.
How you doing?
And this is fun for us because we've been talking about doing this for several years. This is our first show ever. You can see our state-of-the-art equipment.
Yeah.
We are not experts. We are not ex-players. We are just regular guys. And we're going to come to you every week. We're going to have a nice short show. It's only going to be like 20 minutes. And we're going to do just nothing but just pick NFL games. So if you like us, check us, or do whatever, get the word out. Subscribe. Thank you. And we're going to start. And that's it. So thank you for watching. And we're going to start, gentlemen. We will start with
Let's just dive right in there.
our opening night, which is Thursday. Our opening game is Dallas at Philly. And by the way, that's Pete behind the camera. We'll all say hi, Pete.
Hey,
Hey,
Pete.
All right, gentlemen. Thursday night is Dallas at Philly. I was going to go with Philly no matter what, but now that Michael Parsons has been traded, you can't tell me that locker room isn't deflated. So I am going to go with Philly, and I think it's going to be a pretty. I don't think it's going to be that close. Tom?
Oh, yeah, I'm going with Philly all the way on that one. I can't see Dallas having a chance in this game. Not this week.
Michael?
Not
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that. Philly was going to whoop their butt before, and without Micah Parsons, their defense is going to be. I think Eberflus is a good defensive coordinator. I think he's going to try to have them good, but when you take away that big of a piece, it's just no contest. Philly's going to crush them.
Our next game is actually a Friday night game, which is kind of odd. But we have, and I think is it Brazil? Is that what it is?
I believe so, yeah. I think so.
We have Kansas City and the LA Chargers. If you guys would have asked me a month ago, I probably would have went with the Chargers. I know Harbaugh's a great coach. But the more I watch at Kansas City, I think they are very angry about the Super Bowl. I think they are going to come out. I think they want to remind the Chargers and the Broncos and the Raiders that they are the king of that division. So I am actually switched the last couple weeks. I'm going to go with Kansas City on this game Friday night.
Okay.
Tom?
I think, I was going back and forth on this one myself, but I think if this today picking, I'm going to go with Kansas City. I think Kansas City's going to pull a close one out on that one.
Michael?
Well, I'm going to be the underdog. I'm going with the Chargers. I think the Chargers actually did a lot of really good in the draft, and I think that they're going to actually. It's going to be really, really close. But I think on neutral ground, I think the Chargers stand a shot. I like the Chargers.
Okay, and if you guys, now we're going to get to our early window games, our 1 o'clock Sunday. So we have the Ohio Bowl. We have Cleveland with Joe Flacco, who's 107 years old. I love you, Joe. I am teasing. And Cincinnati. If Joe Burrow's not one of the most talented quarterbacks in the whole league, but they have got to get out of this rut of starting slow and then having to play catch up all year. If he can stay healthy, Cincinnati I think is going to have a good year. I know they fumble early. I'm thinking they're going to turn things around. They're going to start off good this year, and they'll start off with a win at Cleveland. Tom?
I think so. I think this is the year that they have to start out. They have to start out much faster out of the gate than they have been the last couple of years. That seems like been their downfall every year. Like you say, they make the playoffs, they're squeezing in, or they don't get a position that's good for them. So I think they all know that. I think Joe Burrow knows that. And I think they played a lot more in the preseason this year than they've done in the past. So I do think Cincinnati's going to come out of the gate with a win this year.
Michael?
Yeah, I like the Bengals. I think their offense is way too much. Even though Cleveland has a great defense, Myles Garrett is amazing, best defensive end on the planet. But they don't have a quarterback. I don't see Sanders or Dylan Gabriel being the answer for them at QB. And one wrong hit to Joe Flacco, and their whole season's gone. So I expect Cleveland to be in the race for the #1 overall pick. So yeah, I'm going Bengals.
So we are actually filming this, everyone, from the James McCabe Theater, which is a community theater that we all perform in Valrico. If you don't know Valrico, that's okay. Nobody knows Valrico outside of Valrico. We are very close to Tampa, Florida. So, hence the Buck gear. We are all Bucks fans. That being said, though, we're going to be very open-minded and we're not going to be homers. And I segue that to the next game, which is Tampa, Atlanta. I I think, not to be a homer, I think Tampa will take this division again. But week one, we had Atlanta has just had our number, so I want to be open-minded. I want us to win, but something just tells me, and I'm going to go with Atlanta week one. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with Atlanta. Tom?
No, I've got to go with the Bucks. I think last year losing both games to Atlanta has left a bad taste in their mouth. They're going to come out of the gate, I think, just showing the Atlanta that they're still the kings of that division. So I'm going with the Bucks in that one.
Michael?
Yeah. I'm going to have to go with Tampa Bay. They're my actual pick to win the Super Bowl, and I'm not being a homer here. I really think they're that good. They got a great defense. Baker Mayfield is amazing. And with the receivers they got and the kid from Ohio State, Mbuka, I think he's going to replace Godwin. And then when we get Godwin back, I think the Bucs offense is going to be amazing this year. Bucky Irving showed that he can really run the ball. Yeah. And even though Atlanta has a ton of talent, and I think Bijan Robinson's probably one of the best backs in the game, if not the best back, I don't think they've put it all together yet. I think they're still trying to find their way, and I think the Bucs are going to go ahead and take this one.
All right. I think a lot of people are interested in this game because it's almost like two dysfunctional families. Pittsburgh going to the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers returns home. I could see anything happening here. I am actually going to think that I don't know why. I have nothing to base this on. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a decent game. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh in this one. I don't know why, but I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. Tom?
I think so too. I was going back and forth again on this one, but I just don't think the Jets are going to win many games this year. I think, again, like Michael said earlier, but I think they're going to be in contention for the number one pick next year. I really do. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on this one. I think Aaron Rodgers can come out of the gate starting really good and strong.
Michael?
I think that I got to go with Pittsburgh, but it's not because Aaron Rodgers is great anymore. I think he's over the hill and washed up. But Justin Fields hasn't proven that he's a real quarterback. So neither offense on this game gives me any hope whatsoever. The only reason I pick Pittsburgh is because of their defense, quite frankly, and Mike Tomlin as the defensive coach.
All right, this next one, we have two new coaches, but two proven coaches. We have New England, and they are hosting Las Vegas Raiders. Pete Carroll, I got Geno Smith, Drake May. Again, to me, this is a toss-up. I'm going to go with New England. I think, gentlemen, just because I think they're the home team, and I'm going to go with Mike Vrabel and a big atmosphere in New England on this one.
I'm going to go opposite on that one. I think the Raiders are going to come out of the gate strong. I think they know what they got to do this year, and I think they, at least the beginning of the season, they're going to be strong. They're going to go out and they're going to win this one. They're going to beat New England. I'd say by at least by 3 points. I think.
Michael?
For me, this is really the number one toss-up game that we have in Week 1. Simply because both of them are really evenly matched. Pete Carroll's a great coach. Vrabel's a great coach, and they both are rebuilding. If I got to give an edge to anybody, it would be the Los Angeles Raiders. The Raiders simply because
Las Vegas.
Vegas. Sorry,
yes.
Sorry. You're lucky I didn't say Oakland. The Raiders get it simply because of Ashton Giante, their running back that they picked with the number 3 overall pick. I think he's going to be the difference in the game.
And I think they got the brightest young tight end in the league.
Oh, yeah, Brock Bowers.
Yes.
He's really good.
All right, next we have Miami at Indianapolis. These guys know because they've heard it from me the last couple of years. I have sold my Miami Dolphin stock. I'm sorry, I just don't think they're run very well. But that being said, I think two of them will have enough to go into Indy and beat Indy. So I'm going to, at least for this week, one of the few weeks, I'm going to go with Miami on this one. Tom?
I think right now, at the beginning of the season, everybody's pretty healthy. A-Chain's got a little hurt, but Hurdy's going to be playing. He will start. So I think right now, at the beginning of the year, the Miami's going to be a little bit stronger. The key for me on Miami's team is every game, anytime, timing is a big thing. If they get thrown off their timing and their route patterns or anything like that, they just don't seem to have it. So, but I think beginning of the season, I think Miami has enough to beat as I call them, Indiana Jones and the Colts.
Yes. Michael?
I don't see any real redeeming qualities with the Colts at all. Miami, at least Tua, when he's healthy, is really actually a pretty decent quarterback. So I have to give it to the Fish.
All right, next we have New Orleans and Arizona. I think nothing against New Orleans. I just think it's fair to say they are rebuilding. I would love for Kyler Murray to kick it in one day because I think he's amazing. But with this one, I just think Arizona has just simply better players. I'm going with Arizona over New Orleans.
Yeah, this one's no doubt. I think New Orleans is going to be one of the teams again towards the bottom by the end of the year. I mean, they could surprise me, but I don't think they're going to be that well. So I think even starting out the first game, I think Arizona's got them. I think Arizona's going to take that one.
Michael.
Yeah, the New Orleans Saints, since they lost their coach, Saints are absolutely horrible. I like Kyler Murray. He's a really good quarterback, got a lot of talent. As long as he stays healthy, I think the Cardinals have a real chance at the playoffs.
Next, we have Washington and the New York Giants. Everything on the board here says Washington. Anybody remember last year? Washington's Cinderella team, NFC Championship game, Jaden Daniels. I think the Giants are going to be a lot better than anyone thinks. But I'm still just slightly, I'm going to go with Washington in this game because I just think overall personnel, they're just still a little better. Tom?
I mean, having to pick, I have to pick Washington in this one, but I do think during the preseason, I think the Giants have found a way this year to just have fun playing. It looks like they're having a lot of fun out there. I think they're still just not quite there yet, but I think Washington will take this one in a close one, I think.
Michael?
On this game, it's really kind of a. I'm going to have to go with the upset on this one. I'm going to go with the Giants.
Okay.
First game of the season, I think the Giants' defense, they got two really great edge rushers in Abdul Carter and Burns. And I think their defense is getting overlooked a lot. I remember they only win 5.5 games at the beginning of the season. And just through preseason, they've already raised that win total and the betting odds up by 2 games. So they got them up to 7.5 games. I think Washington's going to come in a little too cocky and a little overconfident. Of their 11 wins last year, I think like 10 of them were by one score or less, less than 3 points, something like that.
Yeah.
So those kind of lucky breaks, you don't get that every year. So I don't see Washington being nearly as good this year as they were last year. I still think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think the Giants surprise them in the opener. I'm picking the Giants.
All right, so the last 1 o'clock slot, we have Carolina at Jacksonville. I think Carolina is better. I think they're getting better. I'm happy for Bryce Young. I think he went from bus talk to, all right, we finally saw it getting better for him. But I'm going to have to go with Jacksonville. If Trevor Lawrence, if they don't go to the playoffs this year, I think it's time for Trevor Lawrence. Sometimes you just need a new scenery. So I think this is do or die for Trevor Lawrence. But I'm very interested to watch Travis Hunter, see how he does. So I just think Jacksonville's got a better team. I'm going to go with Jacksonville in this game.
I'm kind of calling this game the Baker Bowl. It's the head coaches are both former Tampa Bay offensive coordinators, and I think both got their jobs because of what they were able to do with Baker Mayfield. Yeah. So I think this one, I think I'm going to lean same reasons you were talking about. I think Jacksonville is just a little bit stronger of a team, so I think I'm going to go with Jacksonville on this one.
Michael?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Baker Mayfield got them both their jobs. I think, quite frankly, that's exactly how they got their jobs. Is Baker Mayfield outperformed what they were doing before. I see Bryce Young doing better. I don't see them going above 500. Jacksonville, you're right. This is Trevor Lawrence's do or die season. He's got to make something happen. Now, last year they got Brian Thomas Jr., and he proved to be a great draft pick. They got Travis Hunter this year. So now he's got 2 wide receivers, so they can't just double cover Brian Thomas Jr. all the time. I actually expect Jacksonville to do pretty good this year, possibly make the playoffs, but they'll definitely be better than last year. I'm going to pick the Jags.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, now we are getting into our afternoon games. So we're going to start with Green Bay and Detroit. Pete will zoom in on that. One thing we have talked about, and of course Michael and I have talked about, I'm kind of somebody who's watched Detroit not be good for the longest time. I've been really happy for them the last couple of years. But I know a lot of talk is Detroit's still one of the top NFC, runners. I cannot see with all the head coaches, the two coordinators, the center. I just think Detroit has lost too much. I'm not going to say they're going to stink, but I can't fathom that they're going to be as good as they've been the last couple of years. That, and I think Green Bay, especially now with Micah Parsons, I'm actually going to go with Green Bay in this game. Tom?
I was first going all the way with Detroit in this one. I said, oh, yeah, they got it. I still think there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve there with all the new coaches and all the new personnel and all that. But I think the adding Micah Parsons is going to give them that little boost I think they need, just at least for that opening game. So I'm going to go with Green Bay on that one too.
Well, once again, I'm going to be the spoiler on this one. Green Bay, kind of like Washington last year, won a bunch of really close games that they probably aren't going to win this year. Micah Parsons does make that defense much better. I will give them that. But Detroit, the bad part is they lost their offensive and defensive coordinator and 5 other coaches. Nobody ever talks about the 5 other coaches. They just talk about the 2 coordinators. But that's a big blow to them as far as scheming and so forth. However, Detroit had a ton of injuries last year. This year, they're all back healthy. So I think those two kind of almost balance out each other. So I still think Detroit's got the edge in this. So I'm going to go with the Lions.
Okay.
All right, next we have LA Rams at Houston. This is really all about Matthew Stafford. But Sean McVay, when we last heard just a few days ago, he will be ready for week 1. I think the Rams are a very good team. And I think the defense, especially with those 2 Seminole rookies they had last year, are just going to be better. I'm going to go with the Rams in this game. Tom?
I think this one's a toss-up for me, really. I don't know how the Texans are going to be. Mixon's out. There's no timetable really when he's going to even come back. They say, in 4 weeks we're going to reevaluate, see how he's going to be. He could be out for the season. Who knows? Yeah. So I think that's going to be kind of a shock to him going into at least the first game. So I think I'm gonna go with the Rams on this one.
Michael?
Yeah, I think the Rams just have more talent and better coaching staff. C.J. Stroud showed that the first year, the rookie sensation that he was, not that he's not a good quarterback, but he showed that he's still human, and he came back down to earth a little bit. I kind of expect the same thing from Jaden Daniels this year. I expect all those extra wins they got for him to come back down to earth a little bit. However, the Rams just have too much talent over the Titans, or not Titans, the Texans. And as you pointed out, Tom, they don't have a running game. Without Joe Mixon, they don't have a running game. I don't even know who the next running back is on their team.
Nick Chubb, I think.
Oh, is it Nick Chubb?
I think it's Nick Chubb.
He's got injury history too. So,
Well, speaking of Titans, that's a segue to our next game. Denver at Tennessee. Of course, being a big fan of the University of Miami, I'm happy to see Cam Ward. I think he's going to be a great long-term solution there. But Tennessee is young and they are rebuilding. We get to see Bo Nix, number 2. And Sean Payton is a great coach. Yeah. So this one's pretty easy. I'm going to go with Denver on this. Tom?
Yeah, I'm going with Denver on this one too. I think since really, I think it was early in the season last year, or kind of a third of the way through when Bo Nix, when he played against the Bucks, he kind of came out of the shell in that game. And from the rest of the season there on, he led that team to
took them to the playoffs.
Yeah. So I think they're gonna start the same way they finished up last year. I'm gonna go with Denver.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Denver too. I think Sean Payton's probably one of the best coaches, if not, actually, right there, he's one of the best coaches in all the NFL. Bo Nix, me and Diamond talked about this when they were drafting. I always liked Bo Nix from when he was in Oregon. And he just throws bullets. He's great. And they got all their wide receivers back that are all healthy. I don't see any reason Denver loses this game, even though Tennessee will be better.
All right, next we're going to go to San Francisco and Seattle. Seattle's certainly one of the loudest stadiums in all in the NFL. Yeah. But I think San Francisco has too much talent. I am going to go with San Fran in this game. Tom?
I think so too. I think this one's going to be closer than I think. I think Seattle's going to surprise some people this year by the end of the season anyway. The beginning of the season, this first game, I think San Francisco is ready for it. I think McCaffrey's going to be healthy, and I think they're going to load up on him and go with that. So I'm going with San Francisco.
And he wants McCaffrey to be healthy. Why, Tom?
Well, I got him in my fantasy league again this year.
Michael?
Yeah, San Francisco, when they're healthy, they're a great team. I mean, they really bring it. And Seattle, I think they're really kind of flying under the radar. They may be good this year. I don't think they're strong enough to beat San Fran at full health. So I had to go with San Fran.
All right, our last two games. We have the Sunday night game, Baltimore and Buffalo. Gentlemen, I can't tell you how much respect I have, not only for these teams, not only for these quarterbacks, for these organizations. You want a blueprint on how to run a good organization, just look at Baltimore. Both these quarterbacks are fantastic. Both these teams are fantastic. I am simply going to go with Baltimore because I just think they're a little more complete. But would it surprise me at Buffalo? Absolutely not. But I'm going to go with Baltimore. Tom?
No, I think I think this is going to possibly be the AFC Championship game. I think both of these teams are going to be there in the end. So I think, though, just kind of the way I'm feeling with being that they were on Hard Knocks, I think this might be Buffalo's year. So I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Okay. Michael?
Yeah, it's going to be a great game, too. The best quarterbacks in the entire league. But I think that this year really is going to be the Bills' year, finally. I think it's going to be the Bills versus the Bucs in the Super Bowl. And I'm calling it on the first show. Bucs-Bills Super Bowl. And hopefully the Bucs win. But I'm picking Buffalo over Baltimore simply because I think Buffalo really is their year. I think you're right, Tom.
I think it is. I really do. I've enjoyed this season of Hard Knocks, and I think the team is relaxed and they know what they need to do to get there.
Yeah.
All right, our last game of week one, the Monday Nighter, Minnesota at Chicago. You will learn in the weeks to come. Michael is also a big Bears fan, hence the Walter Payton jersey. Minnesota Minnesota's a good team.
Yeah.
And we're not sure about McCarthy, but I think Chicago's at home. Everybody's going to be watching. I think Ben Johnson has ridden Caleb Williams hard, and I think come third quarter, fourth quarter, we'll start to see a lot of that. And I'm going to go with Chicago in this game. Tom?
I'm going with Chicago only because I think they're going to surprise some people this year. I think they're going to be one of my teams that is just kind of like on the bubble of becoming really, really good. They have the pieces there, and I think they got the head coach there now that they've needed for years. And I think right now there's still a question on McCarthy. How good is he going to be? So I'm going with the Bears in this one.
Well, we know who you're going with. Just tell us why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Bears. The Bears.
The Bears.
And the reasons for me are simple. I do follow the Bears very closely. They are my team. I grew up in Chicago. And quite frankly, Caleb Williams threw for over 3,600 yards, set every Bears rookie passing record there ever was. I expect him to only get better under Ben Johnson, and I think that Ben Johnson, quite frankly, is a much better coach, and he really needed a good coach. Eberflus is great at defense, and I think the Cowboys' defense will be better because of Eberflus, but he did not know how to manage a game at all, and the Bears lost at least 4 or 5 games that they could have won, including the debacle against Washington, where their odds of winning were less than 1%, and he didn't play decent enough defense and didn't manage the clock correctly. So, long story short, Bears have great receivers, have a really strong, good-armed quarterback, and now we finally have a coach who could hopefully put it all together. I think the Bears are going to be in the playoffs at the end of the season. I think they beat J.J. McCarthy because nobody knows. Everybody keeps saying that J.J. is like the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he's never thrown a pass in the NFL. And as we all know, there's a lot of guys, once they hit the NFL field, some of them make them, some of them don't. Hopefully the kid makes it, but I don't think he's got enough to do against the Bears. So, Bears.
All right, lots of thanks before we leave out here. Thank the Village players. We're shooting here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank our technical director who's shooting us right now, Pete Turnzy.
Thank you, Pete.
All right,
There you go, Pete.
This is Tom Mitchell, Michael Highfill. I'm Domin Peza. We've been talking about doing this for years. It's Michael's idea. So we are finally doing this. Hopefully it's short and sweet. Watch us every week. And what do? Like us? Is that what we say?
Yeah,
like
us, subscribe, tell all your friends. We'll see you next week. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.